Hello friends, it's Nancy from Astrology and Angel Mediums today with another deck unboxing. So this is going to be the Fifth Spirit Tarot deck by Charlie Claire Burgess, which is a 78 card deck, and it is meant to be used as a tarot deck. So I'm going to just zoom this out a little bit, not even zoom, just like back it up a little bit. Okay, so this is from Hay House as well as some of the other decks I've purchased. They had a sale. I bought a few decks because it's all for a little bit of this project that I'm working on. Now, I do love that they're starting to include these like beautiful little like poems or whatever inside of each of the decks. So this says, may this deck guide you to your truth. From where you find your truth, you'll find your power. And I love all the little symbols. It's super cute. And this is a queer inclusive deck for a world beyond binaries. So I think it's nice to have something like that out there. This is a beautiful deck backing. Try not to scratch this card. I tend to do that with my nails sometimes. All right. So beautiful reversible backing, which is nice. I like this finish. It's not edged. But really, really nice kind of like eggshell kind of finish to it. So it's like matte, the book, it's not very glossy. The guidebook has different information in it as well, which I think is nice as introduction, talking about gender inclusivity, queering your tarot practice, things of that nature. So I think it's nice that it has more of an inclusive or queer leaning kind of educational point to it, so that way you can be a little bit more inclusive in your practice. And it also talks about some of the basic information for tarot. So here we have some of the interpretations. It's nice. It's not super lengthy. And again, I always tell people, if you are someone that is wanting to read tarot and maybe doesn't feel super confident, and the guidebook is maybe not giving you as much information, get some other tarot books, make your own kind of guidebook, so to speak, to help you understand your deck if possible. But it does have quite a bit of information. I think it's nice that it does talk about different things to kind of focus on with each of the major cards. And let's see what's going on with the minors. So again, quite a bit of information, especially for minor arcana, which they don't usually include a lot of information, which this is really nice. So it is refreshing to see that where there is a bit of information for each of the cards. So everything seems pretty traditional, Rider-Waite-Smith kind of vibe, as far as like the influence for it. So let's look at the actual cards. Now, this card stock is a little bit thinner than you would probably find with an indie deck, which I think is kind of what happens with mass-produced decks. Now, I don't know if this had an indie version of it, but we're just going to kind of look at it. I do like the artwork. It seems a little whimsical, a little fun. We have the Magician, the High Priestess. We have the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, which is the card on, or actually the cover art, the Chariot, Strength. And I do love that we have some of the astrological like symbols to kind of let you know what this card rules over. So here we have Cancer. So here we have Leo. We have Gemini there. So it's nice. And it has like the element and the air element there. Here we have Venus and then the Taurus symbol. So it's kind of showing you a little bit of that influence as well. That's nice. So here we have the Hermit, which rules over Virgo, and we have the Mercury symbol and Earth. And then we also have the little Chiron as well. So here, you know, it's just really nice. It has the different, instead of having the astrological symbols, I'm noticing that it's more of the actual elements of the rulership signs for the Wheel of Fortune, and also with like the world. So here we have Justice, which if you kind of notice, there's still some of those symbols. We have the Libra scales, the Libra symbol, the Hanged One. We have Death, Temperance. I'm like trying to see, I'm like, do we have a Sagittarius symbol? Because usually this rolls over. Yeah, so there's Jupiter, but I'm not really seeing an arrow anywhere. We have the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, the World, the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this seems to be more of like a pip deck for the artistic elements used in the minor cards. So a pip deck is essentially, it's just going to show the symbol and the amount versus like actual representative images of what that card could possibly represent. So just something to keep in mind if that is something that maybe you don't like, because I know I've seen a lot of discourse where a lot of people don't like that with tarot decks where, you know, they're like, oh, the major arcana has beautiful artwork and very representative of like what I thought the deck was going to be like. And then when you get to the minors, it's just the actual amount of each of the minor cards. So the number of whatever. So here we have 10 sticks, basically. Here we have 9 candles. So it's just kind of showing that elemental energy, but not really giving you some of the artistic interpretation of what that card could possibly mean. So just something to keep in mind if you are newer to tarot and maybe struggle without having something to intuitively kind of grasp onto for your readings. For the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So moving on, we have the Cups. We have the 2 here, the 3, the 4, the 5. Now, it does have a little bit of an opportunity to kind of interpret some of these images a little bit more than just a pip card. It's not just 5 cups, right? So, I mean, here we see some are broken, kind of crushed, spilt, things like that. So we can kind of see that maybe something hasn't really worked out, but we're still being presented with 2 other options. We have the 6 of Cups, which we have like a little child's bucket, little teeth, catching bugs, things like that, which may be all things that we relate to childhood, which is kind of the essence of the childhood memories associated with the 6 of Cups. 7 of Cups, we have all the different options available to us here. The 8 of Cups, and then it's like an open door kind of walking away. So, I mean, it's a little bit more interpretive than, say, a traditional pip deck, but it does kind of give you a little bit of that information. So we have the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, kind of showing all the beautiful energies there. And then we have the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and then the King of Cups. So moving on, we have the Sword suit. So we just see the same kind of elements. So here we have the 2 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the 5, 6, 7. That's a really beautiful 7 of Swords, actually. The 8, 9, 10. And then we have the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and then the King of Swords. So here we can move on to the final suit, which would be the Pentacles. So we can see almost like a little avocado like growing here. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles, the 3, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King of Pentacles. So all in all, I feel like it has very interesting and beautiful artwork. I do love that it is inclusive and does have, you know, different sorts of bodies, different ages, different tones, and kind of adding in a flair of how different we all look, as well as I do like that the interpretations of the pip cards have a little bit of that artistic element so that you can possibly tune into the energy of what that card would represent. I think it's a beautifully well done deck. So if you're someone that maybe is a little bit more queer or has been looking for more queer inclusive decks that maybe doesn't just relate to one title or the other, I think that this is a beautiful deck to add to your collection. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please take care, stay safe, and as always, make good choices. Bye.